You won't believe what just went down. The reality TV world had seen its fair share of drama, but nothing compared to this. Latasha Lunsford finally spoke up, and what she revealed changed everything people thought they knew about Quad Web. This wasn't just another argument between castmates. This was something much deeper, much more personal. For years, Quad Web built her image as a smart, confident, and untouchable reality TV star. No matter what rumors came up, she always found a way to turn things around in her favor. But now, her entire reputation was at stake because Latasha didn't just talk. She came with proof. Let me tell you, this was not a regular gossip story. Latasha had been watching, waiting, and gathering information for years. And now she decided it was finally time to expose everything. But here's the shocking part. This wasn't a simple case of shade throwing or jealousy. Latasha had receipts, real evidence that Quad had been hiding things from the public for a long time. These weren't just baseless accusations. These were facts that could completely change the way people saw Quad Web. The image she worked so hard to build was now under fire, and there was no escaping the truth anymore. This is where it gets interesting. Latasha didn't just hint at secrets, she revealed them with confidence, knowing that what she was saying would shake the reality TV world. She showed messages, shared behind-the-scenes details, and presented facts that made it impossible for anyone to ignore. And the craziest part? Some of Quad's closest friends might have known the truth all along, but stayed quiet to protect her. This raised even bigger questions. Were they covering for her, or were they also in the dark? Fans who once admired Quad for her strong personality and ability to handle drama were now forced to question everything. Was she really the person they believed her to be? Or had she been living a double life all along? Destiny took an unexpected turn when Latasha's revelations divided the audience. Some fans felt betrayed and disappointed, while others refused to believe anything against Quad. The internet exploded with debates. Was Latasha finally bringing out the truth? Or was she just looking for attention? But what made this story different was that this wasn't just a battle of words. This time, proof was involved. Quad had always been good at shutting down rumors, but how would she handle hard evidence? How would she defend herself against accusations that were backed up by solid facts? The tension was rising, and it was clear that this was only the beginning. But here's the shocking part. Just when people thought the drama couldn't get any wilder, Latasha doubled down. She wasn't done exposing the truth. In fact, she had only scratched the surface. What she revealed next left fans stunned. She came forward with even more receipts, proof that Quad Web had gone to great lengths to hide her real life from the public eye. The question was, why? What was so damaging that Quad had worked for years to keep it buried? And more importantly, why was Latasha speaking out now? This is where it gets interesting. As more details started coming out, it became clear that this wasn't just a personal feud. It was a full-scale exposure. Latasha wasn't throwing accusations just for drama. She was presenting undeniable facts, the kind that couldn't be ignored, denied, or brushed aside. These weren't just rumors, they were things Quad never wanted the world to see. Suddenly, fans started to wonder, was Quad really the person she had always claimed to be? Or had she been living a lie this entire time? The craziest part, this controversy wasn't just staying between Latasha and Quad. Other cast members were now getting dragged into it. Some of Quad's so-called friends were suspiciously quiet, while others were subtly taking sides. Were they afraid of what would happen if they spoke up? Did they know more than they were letting on? It was becoming clear that this wasn't just about Quad anymore. The entire reality TV circle was being forced to pick a side. But the real question remained, who was telling the truth? Destiny took an unexpected turn when Quad finally broke her silence. Fans had been waiting for her response, expecting her to deny everything or fight back. But instead of addressing the accusations head-on, she played the victim. She claimed she had been betrayed by people she trusted. She painted herself as the target of a planned attack, trying to convince people that Latasha was just out to destroy her. But here's what made it even messier. Latesha didn't back down. Instead, she came forward with even more receipts, proof that went even deeper than what had already been revealed. This is where it gets interesting. Just when it seemed like the truth had already shaken everything up, Latesha unleashed her biggest bombshell yet. If people thought the earlier revelations were shocking, they had no idea what was coming next. This time, she didn't just expose Quad's secrets, she completely shattered the image Quad had carefully built over the years. And the proof she brought, it left no room for doubt. Let me tell you, fans were not ready for what Latesha revealed next. She came forward with messages, unseen footage, and inside information that completely changed the narrative. It wasn't just about petty drama or personal grudges anymore. This was serious. Quad had always been a master at controlling the way people saw her. No matter what rumors surfaced, she had a way of twisting the story, making herself look like the strong, independent woman who always came out on top. But this time she had no control. The evidence was too real, too detailed, and too damaging to ignore. The craziest part? Some of Quad's closest allies, the people who had stood by her side for years, were now silent. They weren't rushing to defend her like they used to. Why? Because deep down they knew the truth was out. Had they been protecting her all this time? Had they seen this side of Quad and chosen to ignore it? Or were they just as blindsided as the fans? The entire reality TV world was now on edge, waiting to see what would happen next. Destiny took an unexpected turn when even more people started speaking out. Latesha had started something she couldn't stop. Her exposure gave others the confidence to share their own experiences. Suddenly, people who had stayed silent for years were stepping forward, revealing things that made the situation even worse for Quad. This wasn't just about Latesha anymore. This was about a pattern of deception that had been happening for a long time. And now it was all unraveling in front of the world. But here's the shocking part. Quad still refused to take accountability. Instead of admitting to anything, she kept playing the victim, insisting that she was being unfairly targeted. She called it a smear campaign, saying that people were trying to bring her down because they were jealous of her success. But with all the evidence piling up against her, was that really the case? Or was she simply trying to escape the truth? The audience was split. Some believed her, while others were completely done with her. What makes this story different? Just when it seemed like the drama had reached its peak, another unexpected twist sent shockwaves through the reality TV world. More people started coming forward, and what they revealed only made things worse for Quad. It wasn't just Latesha anymore. Others were now speaking up, adding fuel to the fire with their own receipts and experiences. Suddenly, it became clear this was bigger than just a personal feud. This was about who Quad really was behind closed doors. Let me tell you, fans were left speechless as new revelations surfaced. Some of Quad's closest friends, the ones who had always stood by her, were now distancing themselves. They weren't defending her the way they used to. Some of them even unfollowed her on social media, a small but loud statement in the world of reality TV. The question was, why? Had they known about this all along? Were they protecting her before, but now realizing that the truth couldn't be hidden anymore? Or were they just as shocked as everyone else? But here's the shocking part. Latesha was still not done. She had promised that the truth would keep coming out, and she meant it. This time, the information she dropped wasn't just about Quad's public image. It went way deeper. It was about things that happened behind the cameras, things that fans never knew about, the kind of secrets that could ruin someone's entire reputation for good. And the worst part, there were receipts to back it up. The craziest part, Quad was running out of ways to defend herself. At first, she had tried to ignore the accusations. Then, she played the victim. But now, with so many people speaking out and so much undeniable proof coming forward, her usual tactics weren't working. Fans who had once supported her started having doubts. The loyalty she had built over the years was crumbling. People who had blindly defended her were now questioning everything. Destiny took an unexpected turn when even bigger names in the reality TV world started paying attention. This controversy was no longer just about one show, it was turning into one of the biggest reality TV scandals of the year. Talk shows, blogs, and online forums were exploding with debates. Everyone wanted to know, was this the end of Quad Webb's career, or would she find a way to survive this storm? The stakes had never been higher. This is how the final showdown began, with tension at an all-time high and the truth hanging in the balance. The world watched as Quad finally broke her silence in a way no one expected. Instead of issuing a strong denial or taking accountability, she turned the tables once again, shifting the blame onto Latesha. She called her out for being obsessed, bitter, and desperate for attention. According to Quad, Latesha wasn't exposing the truth. She was simply on a mission to destroy her. But here's where it gets interesting. Latesha was ready for this move. She had anticipated Quad's response and was already one step ahead. Within hours of Quad's public statement, she fired back with even more shocking receipts, ones that made it impossible to ignore the reality of the situation. These weren't just texts or shady messages. This time, there were voice recordings and unseen footage that left no doubt about the things Quad had worked so hard to keep hidden. What makes this story different? It wasn't just about drama anymore. The deeper fans looked, the clearer it became that this was a story of manipulation, deception, and a carefully crafted facade slowly falling apart. Even the most loyal members of Team Quad had to stop and reconsider. Could they really keep defending her when the proof was right in front of them? Some tried to hold on, saying that everyone in reality TV has secrets, while others admitted that the damage was done. The craziest part? It wasn't just Latesha versus Quad anymore. Other cast members were being dragged into the chaos. Some were taking sides, while others tried to stay neutral, fearing that if they spoke up, they might be the next ones exposed. Friendships that had lasted for years were now falling apart. The reality TV world had seen plenty of feuds before, but nothing like this. This wasn't just about gossip. It was about a complete unraveling of someone's carefully built image. Destiny took an unexpected turn when Quad made one final, desperate move, a legal threat. She hinted at taking action against Latesha, warning that if she continued to spread false information, she would have to face the consequences. But instead of scaring Latesha, this only fueled her even more. She doubled down, promising that there was still more to reveal and that this was far from over. And now, the biggest question remains, how does this end? Will Quad be able to rebuild her image, or has Latesha completely destroyed her reputation forever? One thing's for sure, the world is watching and the truth will come out, one way or another.